welcome back to another YouTube video, guys. Definitely different this time. Found this go-kart motor in the dumpster. It's missing some parts on the valve. The valve underneath the valve cover, and I know really nothing about it, so I'm gonna do the right thing. And are there two dipsticks on this thing? That's so weird. I feel like there is, but it's so weird. I guess one's a fill. I think one's a fill. Anyway, we're gonna open up the cylinder head on this because it was a valve retainer was off, and there's a bunch of parts laying in the dumpster, but I was able to piece them all together. Everything that actually goes to this, including the clutch and sprocket, which is pretty great. So it was actually on a pit bike, and I'll show you the company in a second. But I have everything other than a couple pieces of hardware. But if this is all metric, I have a bunch of hardware that I can throw on here myself. So first things first, I'm taking this tank off because it is very in the way. Let me show you, it's whatever that is, and some Chinese thing, but it's missing bolts. Probably needs a different carburetor. Well, more like intake. I don't need this. I'm gonna put it on a go-kart, so. But see if we can get this thing fired up today, huh? It does rotate, but I really don't want to with the way things are, so probably about to make a mess here. Okay. Fuel off, and probably take the exhaust off as well. Let me get you in here real quick. Just in a spark plug. I have a spark plug though, so I took I found it like this. Push rod was in there, this was in there, and the retainers. I don't know if I can get to it. Right there. So we have everything we need. Nothing looks like broken or scarred up. So, but I'm gonna have to, I don't know the adjustments on these things at all. I really don't know like how many, like the valve lash essentially, I have no idea. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna do all this together. So let me get you guys on a time lapse, and I'm gonna start taking this thing apart. You guys are probably wondering why I'm opening this up and not just throwing on that push rod and such, and it's just to make sure that there's no scarring or anything. The piston looks really good actually. No scars at all, cross hatching still. And the valve seats, I mean the valve looks fine. That could have potentially been dropped. It looks fine though. It moves fine too. So I'm gonna go put this back together and just, do what we do. So I just found a missing part. It's a cap that goes on top of the valves. I don't have that. I definitely won't be finding that in a dumpster, so kind of at a loss here. Probably can't get it running today. Maybe I can replace it with something. I'm going to try to go in the basement, look for something similar or something I can drill out, maybe like cut the top of a screw and then drill a hole in it is what I'm thinking actually. So yeah, I'll be right back. So guys, I actually made my own out of a flare nut fitting for like a brake line, and chopped it and then grinded it to the exact, like the perfect width. It's got a little bit of a taper, but it sits perfectly in here, which will definitely keep the retainer from flopping out, and this guy can sit on top of it. I might have to valve lash it just because it might be like I said, like it's got a little bit of a lip to it, but this keeps it from wiggling out, and that's really what that's there for. And that depth is actually exactly how thick the head of this is. So that being said, let's get this thing back together and see if we can fire it up. What I did notice though is that what is it? I don't think the push rods are moving, but I'm not really sure they're supposed to. I don't know how they're supposed to move. So I'm a little confused by that. But we'll just see what happens. If they don't move, then we'll have to get into the crankcase of this thing, see what's really going on. But so far we have $0 invested, and that's the point. So if I have to make parts, I will. And obviously you saw that. Now we have that valve retainer in there. So let's get back to it. So I found the issue with this motor. Yeah, that. This is just destroyed, really. I think it's still salvageable, though, only because these are C's. That's why the push rods aren't moving. So somebody went to the top of here and said, well, what the heck, everything looks good. I guess I'll take it apart and see. They probably took the push rods out and noticed that these weren't moving with the cam. Well, the valves are both open right now, technically, right? No. Yeah, open. And that's why when I crank this, I actually get noise out the intake and exhaust. Like it's weird. So let's try to get these free. I'm really not sure how. I'm probably just gonna wedge something in there and see if I can break it, but we'll see what happens. Also, I'm probably going to take off the rocker or the push rods, because I want to be able to get to the bottom of these and not mess with the push rods or anything up here. All right, so this is definitely the problem child of this engine. That is why this engine did not run. Somebody tried to start this after it's sitting for years, and those were seized up, and they said, all right, I'm done. So fortunately, I think I scarred up this. We're just gonna act like it's not and put some goopy goop on it and send it. I'll probably just goop up the whole thing. I mean, really. This gasket looks ready to go anyway, so, oh gosh. Yeah. Oh gosh, that bearing. Oh, the bearing is seized. Well, I guess I know what else I gotta work on. Dang, that bearing is seized. But you can see this engine's really seen some rot. So let's just see if we can get things turning and working and see if this thing will fire off, huh? All right, this is just dirtier than a crime scene. But guys, listen to how bad that bearing is. That thing was completely seized. I was able to dig out the races. As you can see, the races are like completely just botched with rust. I was able to dig them out with a pick on the inside and outside, and then just take some heat. I stuck it in some Berryman for a little while and break the inner race loose. And then now, at least it spins, right? Because before it literally didn't spin. So we're just gonna say progress is progress. I did burn this, so that needs to be replaced. We're just gonna literally get the engine running. I don't care. These are moving. It's timed correctly. I had to look back at the video and make sure everything was straight. So it might be out of timing just a little bit, but it should just be enough to get it to bark off. And then that'll be enough for me to invest a little more time to get this thing perfectly running. But as it sits right now, we're gonna throw some goop on here, snap that back on, put the head back together. And honestly, I think we're gonna see if this thing will fire off. So, put some oil in it, of course. I'm just gonna throw some like ATF or something. Like, it's only gonna run for a very short amount of time. I don't know. I don't even have engine oil on me. That's crazy. Actually, I do have 4-stroke engine oil. I think I'll use that. But anyway, I'm just gonna get all this back in there and go. And if that dog just keeps barking, it'll be a good day. Alright, so it's time to test for spark. I simply just try to ground it to the motor. Shock the crap out of myself. Wow, this thing has like no reach whatsoever. Oh, we got spark. Yep. Yep, we have spark. All right, let's see if we can hear something now. There we go. Let me clean up the station. It is a mess. So our push rods are moving again. I don't even know what the heck this is. I guess it's the throttle. Where is the throttle? Oh boy. Fuel on. I'm gonna put the exhaust on because I really don't want it to go deaf right away. So valve cover should probably go on too, huh? It's probably a wise idea. I want to make sure everything's moving correctly once we fire it up though. There's no oil in it. I'll probably throw oil in it real quick too. Even if it leaks. I'm going to take this back apart and get it right. I just want to hear it bark off. That's really all I'm trying to listen for. Just trying to see if we can get and if it fires, that'd be crazy. If it even runs, I'll be impressed, because this engine was really gone. It was hard to get that rear cover on because it kept wanting to. There we go. Just a little bit. Oh yeah. All right. I wish I actually knew how this carburetor went, to be honest. I was kind of stupid and didn't think about how it went on. So that's not helpful. How's this gas though? It smells like gas still, so we're gonna try it. Tell if that's it wanting to run or what. There it is, running away. It's running on the fuel. It's literally just sitting here. There's no oil in it. It didn't want to stop running. Okay, let's throw some oil in this thing and take off the, or put, yeah, let's just throw some oil in it and start it back up and just let it sit here and warm up. Well, there we have it. It's running. And it runs. You can hear that bearing just tapping crazy. Uh-oh. I think I ran out of fuel. There wasn't much in there. Oh yeah, we're empty. Let me put some more in, see if I can rev it out. All right, back on. Doesn't like me when I pull this thing back all the way, which is the throttle. All right, now. A little bit of gas, maybe. Dang. It does not like starting. It's backfiring. I feel like timing is wrong. Oh, that would suck. Also, it not connected to anything is really hard. of it. What a turd. Definitely a timing issue and probably valve lash issue, but I think I'm just going to toss this in the trash, honestly, or just give it to the next guy. I'm sure somebody can use it. It's obviously got a huge rear main leak. It's all over everything. It's just flopping around back there. So, alrighty guys. Thanks for tuning in for another, I guess this is a revival, really. So, see you on the next video. Guys, the next question is, what do we do with this thing? And I want you guys to decide. Do we, I'm considering building a frame from like what the Harbor Freight wheel cart frame. It's about like 300 bucks total, and then I have the welder to do it. Do we get the parts for this thing, the correct valve, keep the rear main seal and the bearing? Because other than that, it runs really good. It needs a little bit of timing, I think, and if I find some information on it, I can do it. Or do we just throw it in the junkyard and move on? Or give it away? I don't know. You guys choose. Let me know.